Hi, I'm Kelsey, and I'm a dumb blonde.
Hi, I'm Abby, and I'm a less dumb blonde.
There are a lot of things that I don't understand.
And there are a lot of things that I do understand. Today, I'm here to answer some of Kelsey's most wonderful questions.
Outer space. You're telling me that I am looking into the galaxy right now. If I look at the sky, that just doesn't make any sense.
It's outer space. We don't know what's out there, and it just keeps going. And we haven't found an end, so why would we say there is an end if we haven't found it yet?
Curly hair. I understand if it comes from your head and straight down, you have straight hair, but how does it twist off of your head?
So the shape of your hair follicle actually determines your curl pattern. Straight hair comes from a circular follicle.
I have a circular follicle.
Curly hair comes from more of a oval-shaped follicle, creating those curls.
Next we have barcodes. There are barcodes on pretty much anything you could find at a grocery store.
Well, barcodes work with this scanner that sends out a laser which detects a pattern. The scanner detects the amount of light, which is then translated into a set of digits or data. Using this set of numbers, information can be retrieved from a computer database, letting you know what the barcode stands for.
Next we have our lovable, adorable pets. Why are they just living in my house? They can't speak English. They're my best friend. I feed them to make sure they survive, and they just stay there until they,
It's thought that the first animals to be domesticated were sheep around 11 or 9,000 BC in Southwest Asia. Following that were goats. Both of these animals were used for their meat, their milk, and their coats. And now we just have dogs for fun.
Mirrors. I get that, it's your reflection, it's an image of yourself, but what if the person standing on the other side isn't just a reflection of you? It is you from another dimension with an alternate life.
Wow, I'm so glad you brought that up, Kelsey. Joseph Smith from Quora agrees with me. He says, yes, absolutely. While most morons would say otherwise, that they're just a byproduct of the educational system that processes most mindless, wild, ignorance as anything else. What you'll need to do is combine regions of science, magic, and misunderstood science, mythology, and combine them all to the most important thing for yourself. Two mirrors facing each other in a vacuum are usually attracted to each other by the simple principle of the quantum vacuum of phenomenon is not exactly the same, which forces the rise of mirrors but doesn't Guess our forces are dimensions, for sure.
Basically. Cruise ships. I don't want to hear anything about buoyancy. You cannot tell me that huge tank of metal can float on water with all these, say you're on a Disney cruise, right? All these water slides, all these food, all these people. It doesn't work. Why does it sink?
Well, the science behind that does have to do with buoyancy, Kelsey. A cruise ship displaces a large amount of water. Water is heavy. It happens to be heavier than the amount of water that the cruise ship is displacing when it sits there. So the cruise ship floats on top. Yes, I understand there are heavy things on the cruise ship. However, there's a lot of open air as well, which allows the cruise ship to float.
Words differing from bad words, so to say.
Who decided which words were bad?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. There aren't actually any bad words. There are people who have issues with the words you're talking about. That's sexuality, bodily functions, or organs, religion. The average person uses curse words in 0.5 to 0.7% of their language. It really just depends on what you personally find offensive, I could think that the color green was offensive, and right there, the word green. I'd really rather you not use that with me, right? It just depends on society has turned into a bad word.
So, I need to know how pictures and videos are stored on your phone, and how do I run out of storage?
It was something I wasn't too sure of the answer of, so I asked our teacher, Mr. Krupp. Mr. Krupp, what is your answer? Cut to video of Krupp.
So pictures are made up of tiny little pixels. Each pixel corresponds to a certain color. Just like any other file you save to a computer, it saves the data about that. So the computer, it saves the data about each individual pixel and how it all works together and forms the actual picture.
How do you run out of storage?
Because the computer only has so much storage. It only has so much ability to store all this data. That's why you get hard drives.
You can buy more.
You can buy bigger hard drives, yes. And same with the cloud. Like, you can only have so much space. The cloud's bigger. It's like me having a yard. I have like an acre of land. I can store stuff in there. If you say, oh, well, I want to store my stuff there, well, you got to buy some of my land for me to put your stuff on it. That's a more capitalistic thing. Like, you could store unlimited stuff in the cloud, but because of capitalism, people want money. They say, okay, I'm going to make people pay for it.
Different languages. How are there so many? How do you get the point across?
Well, different languages came from a group of people who spoke a common language, and then they're divided by distance and time. And over time, their languages evolve. Different dialects are created, and over time, just new words are formed. Like John. That's a Philly thing, right? Does anybody else know what John means? No. Do Philly people ever know what John means? Not really. But the point is, over time, we create new words, which eventually actually creates a whole other language.
What up, young bull?
Young bull?
What is that? No thanks.
It's like a young John.
Bluetooth. I have my phone here, right? Say I have, a pair of AirPods. How does the music from this go to the AirPods that go into my ears, no wires whatsoever?
Bluetooth devices connect using low power radio waves on a frequency band. That's how they work. They work with radio bands.
Next, none.
I didn't know the answer to this, so I went around and I asked a few people for their opinions.
Not show my food. Next we have chargers. You have a little cable thing, goes in here, gives my phone, something to work off of. So phone juice, whatever you want to call it, how does it, make it work for a blank period of time?
Battery chargers use electromagnetic induction to charge batteries. The charging station sends electromagnetic energy through an inductive coupling in the electronic device, which stores the energy in the batteries. The batteries in your phone, of course. This achieves without any need for metal contact between the charger and the actual battery.
Siri, how know what say? How?
Siri records the frequencies.
She records me?
She records the frequencies and sound waves from your voice and translates that into a code. Siri then breaks down the code to identify particular patterns, phrases, and keywords, which she's programmed to understand.
So, after you charge your phone, charge your AirPods, whatever, you put the AirPods in, right? And you play it from Bluetooth. So, how does it feel like in certain songs, the music goes from like here, it like wraps around your head, it's like,
Yeah, so that's actually something called pan. It's pretty basic. You have a left headphone and you have a right headphone. Put both headphones in your ears. The right headphone plays right sounds and left headphone plays left sounds. Now when you're mixing the music, they just say, I want the sound to play on this side of the head right now and I want it to play on this side of the head the other times. And basically if you just play with that enough and you get fancy enough, it does sound like it's going all the way around you by doing like that.
If PT sees this, for legal reasons, it's a joke. Specifically in the US, why is it so high? Who decided it?
Well, the drinking age in the US has gone through quite some history. Before 1919, there was no national drinking age, but this was before Prohibition. Then, after Prohibition, for some reason they were like, hey, we're gonna set the drinking age to 21. This lasted through the 1960s and 70s, where the drinking age was then lowered in a lot of states to 18. Seems reasonable, right? Unfortunately, there was a huge increase in alcohol-related car accidents and drunk driving, which led to a public health crisis. So in the mid-70s, a lot of states started raising them, and by 2014, the national drinking age was raised to 21.
Don't drink, kids. So, colors. This, as everyone knows, is blue. This, the back of this, is white. Now, in her eyes, she knows that this is blue and this is white. But what if this mask was this color, she just calls it blue, and she calls this white? People can, interpret colors differently in their brains, but we wouldn't ever know what people actually see as their reality because, you can't really hop into someone's body and use their eyes to see their world.
Kelsey, this is actually a very widely disputed question, and scientists have actually agreed with. They think it is possible that we all see colors differently.
Kissing someone as affection, pick up your cat, mwah. You see your boyfriend, you don't kiss your cat or your dog. Oh, no, I mean like on the top of the head, not like, you know what I mean? So next we have kissing someone as affection, see your significant other, your mom, I don't know, wait. Next we have kissing someone as affection, you see your significant other, give them a little smooch. Who came up with that? Why is that the thing to do when you love someone?
So, kissing someone actually releases a burst of the hormone oxytocin, which is a chemical in your brain. It's referred to as the love hormone, and it stirs up feelings of affection and attachment. So it's just chemistry.
Next up, we have bikes and unicycles. The tires are, say, this thick. I am not quite small anymore. How does 2 of these hold me up and I don't, tip over?
When a moving bicycle starts leaning to one side, it automatically steers itself towards the other side, just a little bit. This results in the wheels coming back underneath the center of mass and the bike balance. That's how bikes work.
Well, Abby, Thank you so much for answering those wonderful questions that I had.
You know, Kelsey, it was no problem at all. I'm really glad I could answer them for you.
You know, I think maybe I'm slightly smarter.
I think I might be slightly dumber.